for the reality game. And I'm going to give you a sample of some of my cosmic characters and what they have to say while they are under the influence of negative fields. This is referenced in Power versus Force, a book by the foremost teacher of enlightenment, according to some Korean organization, Dr. David R. Hawkins. He's a medical doctor and a psychiatrist, and he's a long time been studying consciousness. So in these books, he talks about the scale of human consciousness, and he talks about negative states of consciousness. And he gives, in his subsequent books to Power versus Force, he gives spiritual advice to people about how to climb out of negative fields of consciousness. Okay, so these next clips are going to be different characters of ours, but these characters are under the influence of various types of negative fields. And the common denominator with these ones are, I'm very unhappy, and I'm also looking to see who to blame for my unhappiness. Okay, and I'll come back at the end of the clip to give a bit of a summary. Well, here we go.
I'm never going to be your friend because most of the time you be mean to me. And when you be mean to me, I don't smile like this. And you be mean to me so many times, I'm never going to let you go. You're always going to be on my shit list. Always, always, always. When I'm 150 years old, I'm going to remember you and you're going to be on my shit list. I'm not Kermit the Frog, but I am happy to be with you. No, I'm not happy to be with you. I'll pretend to smile. But no, deep down inside, I dread the thought of being around you. Every time I'm around you, I feel drained. I feel like I wish I wasn't even there. I wish I wasn't even born, because it means like not another occasion where I gotta be with miserable old you. I don't normally feel this way except when I'm around you. Okay, I am someone who is checking you out, alright? I'm checking you out. And I'm checking to see, what you're all about. Mostly I'm checking you out. To see if I like you or not. I have a hard time figuring out whether I like you or I don't. I can't really remember too many past occasions when I really, really laughed when I was around you. I remember a lot of times when I was just like, I'm sick to death of you. You were sick to death of me. I can't tell you how many times I was ready to barf because you were around. Do you know how annoying you are? Do you know how many annoying habits you have? I heard your conversation, both of you. You see your worst faults in others. Both of you see each other and you say, You're lousy. And I look at both of you and say, you both are right. You're both lousy. What about me? I'm looking at you, babe. I guess I'm in your group. I'm sucking too. I don't suck. I'm great. I'm fabulous. I've got no issues. No issues. No, I don't have any issues. I'm not going to go negative on you. I'm not going negative on you. La 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 la. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. It's like if I just, if you just say it until you make it. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I've got no words. I got no words. You know, I always tell my children, when they're upset and, they used to hit each other when they hit them, punch each other. And I said, don't punch your brother. I said, use your words and express yourself. And here I am, and I'm upset. And I got no words. No words. How am I supposed to express what I'm feeling if I got no words? I don't want to cry. I was taught when I was a little kid, boys don't cry. So I'm not going to cry. What do I feel like doing? I feel like crying. I'm not going to cry.
See this? This is the NFL. The NFL, you gotta be so tough. You gotta be so tough. You gotta play hurt. And when you're hurt and playing hurt, you gotta do what it takes to play. So if, Doc over there's got a cortisone shot, you just, you know, give it to me, Doc. Give it to me. Take the cortisone. I get these pills off the street. Don't tell anybody. I get these pills off the street and they take the pain away. We're not supposed to smoke weed in the NFL. I have to smoke weed. I'm in so much excruciating pain. Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to play this game? Do you know how sore I am? I've got so many injuries and I'm getting this huge paycheck. I'm expected to play, and I'm expected to play hurt. And they don't even want me to talk about it because they don't want, they don't want it on paper that I'm hurting. They don't want it. They said, if you want to be in the NFL, you play. If you don't want to be in the NFL, go away. Yo, what's up? I got something for you. You know, that stuff you liked last time. I got more of that stuff. Makes you feel good. I got some of that stuff for you. You remember? Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not giving away free samples today. No, no. You tried it before. You liked it. You came back and you said, I like that stuff. That's good stuff. You said, next time you get some stuff, let me know. I got some of that stuff. You want to try that stuff? So yeah, so that guy on the street, he had that stuff, and sure as guns, I was sore. I took that stuff, and I played my heart out. I didn't feel no pain. No pain. Now, I gotta tell you, it was like 2 days after, I ran out of those pills. And I thought I was gonna drive myself to the hospital because it was so brutal. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was like the worst it's ever been. It was so bad.
I just got chewed out at work again by my boss. It wasn't even my issue, you know. I get blamed for stuff that didn't even come across my desk. He said, "You were there. You should have seen it. You should have known." And I'm like, "Boss, I'm already doing the work of two people. You fired that other guy, and you threw all of that work onto my desk." And he looked at me and said, "You want to work here? You're going to do all the work that's given to you. And if you got to work overtime, I ain't paying you no overtime. You get it done or you get a new job. I'll find somebody. There's all kinds of people on the street. They need a job. You don't want this job? I'll get somebody else. What's it going to be? Anyway, you screwed up. You were there. I know it was that other guy's, but you're the senior person there. You're the senior person, and you have to be in my eyes and ears 24/7 because I can't be everywhere. So it's your fault. And by the way, I'm docking you a week's pay because you screwed it up." Okay, it's Bob Frizzell again, and those are just some of the characters that you will come across um, when we've got major negative consciousness fields in play. Now, when Dr. David R. Hawkins talks about transcending the levels of consciousness, he basically says, Bob, this is your job. This is your job. Transcend these levels of consciousness. And, after I read these books and I say, my natural state is joy. I don't hardly ever feel joy because of these consciousness fields. And it's backwards, Dr. Hawkins. It's basically these fields, I don't know, but if my natural state is enlightened, my natural state is oneness with divinity, these fields are dragging me down into the fields of negativity. So, and then you put it on me and you say, well, if you want to, transcend the levels of consciousness to rise in consciousness, it's on you. Now, Dr. Hawkins has passed away, but if I had a chance to talk to him, I would say, Doc, why are there these negative fields of consciousness on planet Earth? Did the divinity make negative fields of consciousness? Because the divinity is supposed to be the creator. And then it's like, well, how are you going to get all this information to all the people, 8 billion people on the planet? And even if they do, I've been working at this for a very long time, and I still get caught in these negative fields of consciousness. I can't see them, and I get hit by them, and I've read all your books, and I've watched all your videos. And if I have a hard time with it, how the hell's the man on the street that never heard of you supposed to deal with this? Dr. Hawkins might say, it comes about because we're on a planet where animal life evolves. And what happens is a new soul perhaps has a life as a rat, and then dies, and then has another life as a possum, and then has another life as a bear, and then a jaguar, etc., etc. And then maybe they become a bird, like a parrot. And then maybe they become, I don't know. But that's kind of like the information that Dr. Hawkins was going down. Now, the problem with this is, why are we involved with evolution in the first place? Because evolution says that you're moving from low fields of consciousness to higher fields of consciousness. And if you were created by the divinity, you should be divinity. You shouldn't start off being, Dr. Hawkins says, calibration level 1 on the scale of human consciousness is a one-celled organism, an amoeba. How is it that divinity, enlightened beyond all belief, totally knowing everything, present everywhere, infinite everywhere, how is it that the divinity creates an amoeba, a single-celled organism that calibrates at 1 on the scale of human consciousness? There's flaws to this theory, the scale of human consciousness theory, and that we evolved from animals. Because why would the divinity create copies of itself? Because divinity is divinity. It can only create what it is. So what's going on here on planet Earth is a simulation. Why would the divinity create a simulation? I cannot understand it. Perhaps the idea is maybe there is no divinity creating things here on the planet, and maybe it is evolving. Simply understand. If you cannot understand, then why can't you understand? I can't come up with a word. I can't come up with an explanation. All I can tell you is, in my experience, these fields definitely exist, and we all see it all the time. When do we not feel these fields? When was the last time you really felt a real joyful, blissful feeling? I can't tell you. All I know is Dr. Hawkins says the reason people use booze and drugs is because these products mask lower vibrational states. They don't get rid of them, but when you take booze and you take certain kinds of pills and you feel good, it takes all the low vibration stuff and masks it. It doesn't take it away, it just covers it up. And then all you experience is high states of consciousness, ecstasy, and bliss. So what does it really mean? Somehow, these hard to identify things are not helping us. In other words, whatever these low vibrational consciousness fields are, they are a hindrance to everything on the planet. So what do we do about it? You can't see these fields. You can muscle test. If you're a good muscle tester, you can muscle test where these fields are and what they calibrate at on the scale of human consciousness. But nowhere does it say you can get rid of these fields. And then you have to talk to the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle and how he deals with the pain body. And he says you got to be hyper alert when it comes on. And if you can stay totally alert and know that this negative field is there, you can dissipate the field. But the thing is, you've got a busy day. You've got a million things on your plate, and even when you're hyper aware and you realize there's a negative field that you feel is triggering you, you got a busy day. You got stuff that's got to get done. You got people to see. You got kids. You got your boss. You got a million things to do, and you feel this. You got to work through it, right? So, I mean, maybe when you've got a few hours at home and this happens, you can, do Eckhart Tolle. But the rest of the time, you got too many things. You can't multitask this much. It's too hard. So in the end, what can I tell you? It's an impossible situation for people on planet Earth to do anything about the situation. They have got full-time work, full-time relationships, full-time this, that, and the next thing, and to go and try to work on consciousness research and trying to dissolve negative patterns, negative consciousness fields that you can't even see, and half the time they catch you unawares, and next thing you know, you're caught by them, and you don't realize that you were, some people will just say, I was just nasty there. I don't know why. Looking back on it, and then they might even want to cry. It's like, what's wrong with me? The point of the matter is there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with these consciousness fields. Where are these consciousness fields housed? And how do we disrupt them and dismantle them? Yoshi, I can't give you an answer. David Wilcock, the commentator on Earth Ascension, he says if we all had one wonderful day, the negativity would dissolve away. That ain't going to happen on planet Earth. Everyone knows when you're having a good day, 10 other people are having a shit day. So that's crazy. Okay, let's give you the next David Wilcock thing. We're going to have a solar flash of super love energy hit the Earth. And it's going to elevate everyone's spirit so much that we're going to have that day. The great solar flash. Okay, this is my Razzle Dazzle hat. I can't tell you, but I really was hoping that we were going to get something unbelievably outlandish, like a solar flash of cosmic love hitting the planet. It's the most unlikely thing you could ever imagine. Totally unlikely. I'm wearing Kermit the Frog's hat backwards. My mom said, why don't you watch these old videotapes you bought me for Christmas 20 years ago of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz and I Love Lucy? It'll make you laugh. I said, Mom, we got rid of the VHS machine so many years ago. I can't play these tapes anymore. And I thought, maybe she's on YouTube. Okay, so if I'm a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, I'm never going to be able to figure out how I'm going to get tickets. Regular season tickets are way too expensive for me to take me and my family. So, I can watch it at home on the television. Kind of sucks because I'm a super fan. Okay, I play for the NFL. I play for the Vikings. And I understand there's a lot of people that complain, that we're overpaid. Truth of the matter is we're not. We only get to play for a few years in the NFL. We got to make as much gravy and cake as we can because afterwards we're all beat up. We got to see doctors constantly, operations, chiropractors. We got enormous drug bills. We got concussion problems. So yeah, I make a lot of money for a few years, but then the rest of the time I'm spending money like crazy. So I need the expensive money. Okay, it's Bob Frizzell again, and this is my Las Vegas hat. Why do people go to Las Vegas? For a good time. Okay, I'm in Las Vegas. Am I having a good time? No. Why? Well, yesterday I was on a winning streak and I was up $500. And this morning I thought, well, what the hell? I only had like 15 minutes before my, I'm here on business. I only had 15 minutes before I had to be at my meeting. And I was just outside the meeting room. There was, slot machine. So I started playing slot machine. In 15 minutes, I lost $400. So I'm up $100. Well, no, because I spent like $300 last night of the $500 that I won in Vegas having a good time. So I've really, in the end, I spent a lot of money. Okay, so it's me, Kermit Backward. No one really figures out it cannot be removed. What? Everything, like, we go back in time and we figure out where these negative fields were created, and then we just stop them from being created. Okay, I'm going to dazzle you with my scientific know-how. Dazzle, dazzle. You want a time machine? They did it on Star Trek. Of course, you have to have like the Starship Enterprise or Voyager or something, and it's got to be able to go at multiple times light speed. Where the hell are you going to get one of those things? I know what we need to do. We need to go and figure out how to contact the spiritual masters, like Buddha and Jesus. We got to figure out, what the hell they would do in this situation. Okay, I'm continuing to put these hats on and off just to give you a feeling of how desperate we are for some kind of relief from negative energy fields, negative fields of consciousness. We are desperate, and I don't have a solution. I've got cockamamie ideas by David Wilcock that we're going to get a wave of cosmic love when the sun goes supernova. That's insane. That's never going to happen. Hang tough, kids. That's what we do in the NFL. That's what we do out there in the stands. Hang tough. Okay? So, what are you going to do about it? I can't get any more information than what I've given you now. The cause is consciousness fields that are hidden from you. You can't see them, and even when you're under their influence, you can't do nothing too much unless you catch yourself and you say, oh my God, it's a negative field. The state of the planet is hard to figure it out, but it's really never getting easier, is it? That's the reality game for today. I'm sorry I don't have a solution. I mean, I always say meditate, but who really meditates? Is that going to fix it? If you can raise your consciousness, perhaps it'll help you. Perhaps it'll help everyone here. I don't know. It's just a bunch of theories by some quack named David R. Hawkins, PhD, MD, foremost teacher of enlightenment. Get his book, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. Learn how to muscle test. How many of the 8 billion humans on this planet are going to do that? All right, let's just go with this. Just try and be kind and, forgive people if they've been nasty to you. Everyone knows it blows over, and, try not to hold grudges, because everyone knows if you see about like 10 other people that have been in a shitty mood and you're in a good mood, those other 10 people have seen you when you weren't at your best too.